Stephanie Milky here, aka KetoMOM, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the KetoMOM podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the KetoMOM Secrets podcast. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the KetoMOM page. My name is Stephanie. We're diving into your divine fingerprint. So as you're tuning in, I would love to know where you're tuning in from. For those of you who are doing the intermittent fasting challenge of fasting this week, intermittent fasting. Today's day 2. Make sure you're in my customer group. Make sure you're in the other group where we have got coaching and accountability. So if you're intermittent fasting with me and honestly thousands of others, and you are working on learning what that is and how it works and working on your fat loss goals, make sure you're in the groups for your accountability. So I've got my ketones this morning. Cheers. If I don't know you, meaning I've talked to so many of you, but if you're brand new to the page, I would love for you to post new below, and I would love to get to know you. So here's what we do in the mornings. We work on our mindset. Does it seem super exciting? Maybe not, but I'll tell you this. I sit down in my chair every morning. I grab my ketones. I look outside. It's still dark, although it was very foggy here in Minnesota today. And I sometimes can't stop reading, and I have to because my children need me to homeschool them. But I'll tell you, once you understand the power of your mindset and you actually fuel your mind with the right thinking, the reading, certain people to follow, I honestly don't want to stop. So I was reading all morning, honestly reading way too long. I should have came on here a long time ago, but we're working through this book. Before we do that, I've had a handful of people ask me, Stephanie, I need a book that's going to I need a step-by-step book. We've already talked through the book called Dream It, Pin It, Live It, but I need a book about goals. I need a more specific book. This is going to help you with your character. Today, we're going to talk about the power of your words, your character, your core values, your mindset, right? So I had this book sitting on my counter. If you need a book that will help you set specific goals, change habits, there's 3 books that I want to give to you, just share with you, and then you can write them down and grab them if you want to. I've already gone through all 3 of these books on the KetoMOM page. So at any point in time, when you are at home and you have nothing to do, go to ketomomsecrets.com. So that's our blog, that's our website, ketomomsecrets.com. Click on book club. We've gone through this book before. You can actually go through the lives. So take a screenshot. This is a really great book. It is a smaller book. It gives you basic steps on going after goals. So we've got this book. We've got the book called Morning Miracle by Hal Elrod, an incredible book. Super thin. You could read the entire book in a couple days. The point of reading is to learn, gain knowledge, and to take action. So that goals book is incredible. The Morning Miracle is incredible. And Atomic Habits by James Clear. All 3 of those books, hands down, incredible books to help you on your journey of setting goals, specific actions. Like if you're I need a step 1, 2, 3. I need to know exactly what to do. If that's you, go grab one of those books or all of those books. Atomic Habits, The Miracle Morning, Goals by Zig Ziglar. So those will help you. This book will help you in lots of other ways. It's really about figuring out who you are, your divine fingerprint, giving you an understanding and honestly just an appreciation of you, like what you have to offer, your values, your distinct 1% factor of what you're called to do. So as we dive in, you can always go to ketomomsecrets.com, click on book club, follow along. You might not have the book, but I'm going to give you something to think about. And I've talked about this a lot. We are in chapter 4. Chapter 4. We're on page 57. if you're following along. And here is what he talks about. And I love this. This is one of my most favorite topics to talk about. I think I say that about a lot of things, but for real, I talk about this a lot. And I don't think you could, if you've already heard it, it's a good reminder. And he says this: words are, of course, the most powerful drug used by mankind. He talks about the power of your words. I'm not going to read the stories to you. He has some incredible stories in here. But he basically says this: I believe the tongue is the greatest force in the universe. Our words have the power to elevate our thinking. Your self talk and the words that you speak will determine whether you think negatively or positive thoughts, and whether you feel bad or feel good. Truly, death and life are in the power of our tongue. How you frame your words will be how you frame your world. Never let anyone's words to you be stronger than the words within you. And let those words that are spoken through you be stronger than the words spoken to you by others. If there's one thing, I talked to this about our kids, our friends, anybody around us, it's what you are speaking over yourself and speaking over others. And honestly, internalizing to what people are speaking over you. So he uses a phrase in here called think, be, do. And so he talks about the power of our thinking. Sorry, it's in a little triangle. Being and then doing, the action part. And I would say if there's one thing you do today, it's just pay attention to the words that you're speaking. It's so important. We talk about the power of your thinking. I mean, what you allow in your mind, what you say in the morning. Are you constantly dragging yourself out of bed going, I have to go to work? Or I get to go to work. So I'm in lots of chat threads. So I was reading through a messenger chat thread today, and there were some conversations going back and forth with some of our incredible promoters. And it was really along the lines of, it wasn't negative, but it was like, hey, I wish we had this. Hey, I wish we had this. Oh, I hope it changes in the future. It wasn't negative. It was legitimately conversations going back and forth. And one girl, excuse me, came into the conversation and she totally flipped the script. She's like, you know what? I hear what you're saying. I think that's great. 100%. Would that be nice? Yes. But she looked at it from a different viewpoint. And she said, I'm not going to give you all the details, but she just flipped it. She's like, I'm so thankful for this. I'm so thankful for how it's offered. I'm so thankful I get to try these. And I just read it and I was like, she's working on her mindset. She's not working on, in our company, we call it a drama triangle. And that's not what these ladies were doing. We have an incredible group of ladies. I got to see a 1% switch of what she saw in perspective and the words she used to change how everybody was looking at something. That's it, right? Like, you have the opportunity with the knowledge and the wisdom that you have already. If you've been here for any point in time, we talk about the power of the people that you're around, your environments, your thinking, reading, and your words. So you have the opportunity to change any environment that you're in just by, first of all, having the awareness of what's going on and changing things with your words, being an encouragement, right? Just even saying things like, man, I'm so thankful that I get to be here and work with all of you. I'm so thankful for my job. I'm so thankful for my family. I'm so thankful that I get to go be the chauffeur all evening because we can provide an opportunity for our children to play all of these sports, and we are blessed to get to drive them around. I'm not saying that all of you complain about it. I'm just saying your words have power. They really do. And they can shift an environment ever so slightly by just what you're speaking over that environment. Now, all I want to also say is your words have power on yourself and the things that you're thinking, but also speaking over yourself. So he talks about that. And then really what he's diving into in chapter 4, we're just going to wrap it up, is he says this. He goes, I want you to understand we're going to dive into certain words. So he goes, as you're developing you're 1% better, as you're reading this book or you're following along, there's things that we're going to work on. And I'm just going to read the words to you. He's like, if you want to think, be, and do, he goes, thinking plus being plus doing equals what you have. If you understand the power of your thinking, the person you're becoming, the actions that you're doing, it will have a result of what you have. So he said, here's the words that we're going to talk about. If you pay attention to your character creates consistency. He talks about trusting. he talks about the word intimacy. Also, he says if you don't like the word intimacy, he's like your authenticity. He talks about the word respect, honor, love, relationships. He goes, people who decide to be one percenters, choose to develop themselves and become the kind of person that they would want to have a relationship with. You working on yourself, you working on your mindset, paying attention to your words, you being the best version of you is also setting you up for looking for those relationships that you actually want to be in, right? You being a better version of you will also help, hopefully, help other people elevate themselves. And that's what I saw this morning. I saw that in a chat thread of one specific lady changing the conversation by 1 degree. And really, I could see she's working on her mindset, which changed the atmosphere of the thread. Again, not complaining. It was just interesting to watch it. I could hear her thought process, which was pretty incredible. And so basically he says this. Oh, there's so many things. We're going to work on all of those things. Your character, the trust, the think, be, do to get to what you want to have. You're developing you. This book is about developing your mindset, developing your character, developing different things in your life to be the best version of you. Now, when we dive into chapter 5, we're going to go down the route of your core values. Do you have core values? What does that look like? And again, you might be like, I don't even know what that means. All of this works on you, which when you work on yourself, not in a selfish way, you get to overflow into other people. The girl specifically this morning has been working on herself, and therefore she was able to switch a conversation ever so slightly to just bring thankfulness into the conversation, right? To give a different perspective, which you have the opportunity to do in any environment that you're in, because you are here and you know, and you have an awareness. You have an awareness of, oh, my mindset is important. What I speak is important. When I'm in an environment, I bring a different level of thankfulness, gratitude. I bring I bring the light because I am working on myself, and therefore I can give to others. It really is important. And then you go, if I'm working on myself and the words that I'm speaking, I also am going to make better choices. I'm going to choose better for myself. If I work on my mindset in the morning and I walk out of my home or into my office or into any environment, I've already worked on my mindset. I've had gratitude for the day. I've chosen to encourage people in my home or in my office. And then when things come up, as silly as it may seem, when something happens where I'm presented with foods that might not align with my goals, right? Or the opportunity to skip my gym workout for something else, I know that I've worked on myself this morning, that I'm going to choose my best yes. And I know that when I'm in a state of gratitude, and I've worked on my mindset and I've worked on myself this morning, that when the donut appears, I know this sounds silly, but for real, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm having a great day. I actually have goals. I haven't wallowed in my sorrows. I haven't sat on the pity potty. I've worked on my mindset. I can actually say no because I've got goals for better yeses. I've got goals. I've got dreams. I'm intentional. And I've walked through my morning intentionally, working on myself, my mindset, encouraging those around me. So when other things arise that try to derail me, I can actually go, nope, not for me. No, thank you. I'm good. I can choose to go down the negative route, or I can choose to make the 1% shift. I understand my 1% factor. I understand where I'm going. I'm going to start working on my core values. There's things that we're going to work on to elevate you as a person so that you can elevate the environment that you're in, because that's what you get to do. So tomorrow we'll dive into core values. There's lots of things we're going to dive into, but the awareness today is the power of your words. If I sound like a broken record, maybe you just needed a good reminder, because that was the part of it today. And I would say that the power of your words, just like he said, I should say this one phrase because I actually really loved it. I'm going to leave you with this to think about. Hold on. I believe the tongue is the greatest force in the universe. Your tongue has the power of life and death. Pay attention to your words and those around you. This is something that you should be teaching your children at any age. It's so important. So, hey, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Always here to help. So you can go to ketomomsecrets.com, click on recipes, book club, how to get started, click on trials, mom fuel. If you're following along in my stories, we'll be talking about intermittent fasting. There's no shortage of recipes. Send me a message. I would love to connect with you and help you on your journey of just getting you started or encouraging you to restart, realizing that if you haven't got, people say this all the time. I don't know why I don't like this when people are like, I fell off the bandwagon. I really hate that phrase. I don't know why, but I want to be like, just because you had a bad week or maybe you checked out in October, like let's not give the rest of the year away. So wherever you're at today, let's get started or let's keep going or just realize that I'm here to help you. Accountability is so important. And that's why so many people are loving the intermittent fasting group because they're doing it with hundreds, if not thousands of people. So I'm here to help. I hope you guys have an incredible morning and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.